I mean, there was a block of people who used to say, hey, this is what we want. This is not what the United States wants. And they were a mediator, a third rail between the Soviets and us. That's gone in the world, and people don't seem to realize it who are growing up. So when Lula did that, I couldn't believe the outrage by people like Tom Friedman attacking him. And it was disgusting, I thought, really disgusting, because he never presented the point of view of Brazil and Turkey, which are major countries, huge powers, regional powers.
And the New York Times, of course, before that trip, was blasting the possibility of Lula being able to negotiate any kind of arrangement, and basically saying he was naive, he was out of his league. And Tariq, your response to the impact of that deal that was brokered by Turkey and...
Well, I mean, everyone was surprised in the West that how dare these countries have the nerve to go over our heads and negotiate an independent deal with Iran. But this is what the world once used to be like. No one accepted U.S. hegemony unquestioningly, as many of these Security Council members do. The other point is that Brazil was very courageous to do this, Lula particularly, because Brazil has been trying to get a permanent Security Council seat for a long time, and they've now jeopardized that process. They will never be allowed it. So they did it for a good principled reason, showing the world Iran is prepared to do a deal. It's you who don't want to do it because you're permanently under pressure from Israel.
Now we're going to say that right on the air. What you're saying about Lula da Silva, about Chavez, and how they're covered and how they're censored in various ways.
You go.
Well,
Tariq Ali.
Why does this happen? That's the question we have to ask. Why are these people so hated by the mainstream media in the United States? And the answer is simple, that they present an alternative. What they're doing is using their wealth, especially the oil wealth of Venezuela, to bail out the poor. Here, it's the rich who are bailed out by taxpayers' money. In South America, it's the poor who are bailed out by the wealth which they regard as owned commonly by the people. And they were the first countries to attack neoliberal economics, which collapsed in Wall Street in 2008. The whole Wall Street system collapsed. These guys had been doing it for 10, 15 years previously. So none of them was surprised by the Wall Street crash because of what they'd been doing. So we should look at them as pioneers. Hey, guys, you were the ones who taught us that this could happen in Argentina, in Venezuela, and later Brazil, Ecuador.
Moments with President Bush that day, that night.
I say it's not necessary to kneel before power. Nor do you need to be rude to say the things you have to say to those who oppose our actions. We had a discussion in Monterrey. I said that a solution for the problems right now, I told Bush, is a Marshall Plan. And he got angry. He said the Marshall Plan is a crazy idea of the Democrats. He said the best way to revitalize the economy is war, and that the United States has grown stronger because of war.
War. He said that.
He said that. Those are his exact words.
Or is he suggesting that South America go to war?
Well, he was talking about the United States. The Democrats had been wrong. All of the economic growth of the United States has been encouraged by the various wars. He said it very clearly. President Bush is... Well, he's only got 6 days, right?
Yes.
Thank God.
That was former President Kirchner. And these comments of President Bush, as he says about the United States growing strong through war, I don't think that's ever been reported anywhere.
Well, it goes to the heart of the issue, and I don't, we know it, but we sound jaded when we say it. But why does America go to war? I went to Vietnam. We went right after that. I made 3 movies about it, and then we went back to Panama. We invaded Panama, Grenada. Then we went into Iraq twice, and now Afghanistan. I don't get it, and there has to be a reason for all this this corporate march to war. And the press supports it, and we saw it in Iraq most vividly. It was very depressing to be a Vietnam veteran at that time, and now we're seeing it again, and with Iran and with Afghanistan, this support of this war. There's no sense to it because we don't resemble the Afghani or the Vietnam average person. Our soldiers have to go. If they're going to go there, they got to stay. That's all there is to it. They got to become citizens of Afghanistan. That's the only way they're ever going to make it. They're not. There's no way we're going to stay, and they know it. And as long as they know we're leaving, I don't see any victory, any exit strategy at all.
No, that he was very honest. The thing is that Bush used to spell it out straight, which is why people didn't like him that much, because he just said it. I mean, often what he said was true from his point of view. And from the point of view of the corporations. He didn't wear a mask. He didn't use emollient words, which is what happens now. But the other